Well, good evening and welcome to game number 2 of the Link to the Past Randomizer tournament group stage between Acktheboker and LackAttack24. Acktheboker, the number 1 seed of this group, LackAttack, the number 4 seed of this group. Ack sporting a 1-0 series lead. I'm Adirondack Rick, being joined by the Slim Kirby. What can you tell me about game 1 of this series?
Well, as you mentioned, Acktheboker did win that particular race. It was pretty interesting seed. I believe there was an instance where Ack had the boots for like 40 minutes longer than what Lack did, so that was a big indicator of how that race went in that fashion. But both performed very well. I mean, everyone in this group stage has made it here for a reason, obviously. They're all pretty good players.
Yeah, Acktheboker, one of the players who've been in just about every single Link to the Past Randomizer tournament. And LackAttack is new to the Link to the Past Randomizer scene, but not new to Link to the Past as it is. Does about a pretty competitive time. The vanilla NMG speedruns. This should be a fun match. We are playing 7-7 Open, as Lack has elected not to make any changes, and we are off and running.
Yes, we are, with just the map inside the sanctuary, and over here in Link's house, we got a piece of heart.
All right, so we get our first map check, and we got 3. We have 2 crystals in, or rather 2 pendants in the overworld, or the light world, that is. And it looks like Eastern is vanilla.
That is correct. That was the green pendant, and we do have just a normal crystal on Desert Palace. So we're going to need to make our way over there at some point in the seed to get that crystal.
What if they don't?
Well, they're not going to be able to finish the game, Rick. That's a pretty important part of it.
And why is that important?
Well, you see, these crystal things, they're kind of needed to, especially in this seed, open up Ganon's Tower and the Pyramid, for that matter, to beat the final boss and win. So they're going to need that.
As noted before, we're not playing 6-6, are we?
We are not. We are playing 7-7 crystals. 6-6 is an option, but none of the settings changed, as we already mentioned, so going to stick with what we did with game 1.
By the way, LackAttack spotting the typical Link sprite, and Acktheboker maybe as homage to LackAttack24, doing the 8-bit Link sprite.
Yeah, that is true. Lack is definitely known for a lot of Zelda 1 speedrunning, for sure, so this could be like a nice little homage to that, and I like that. I really like that.
Yeah, as LackAttack is the world record holder in the 80% no up and A category for Zelda 1. So we are going to make our way over towards the Lumberjack, see what's inside. Are we going to have to beat Agadim to get an item? Well, we're not going to do it for 20 bucks.
I could really use 20 bucks, though, so I would probably consider it, but that's also probably why I just didn't qualify either, so
Yeah,
probably a good call on skipping that.
Being short on money is never a fun thing, as we're going to go ahead and do the race game.
And looks like Lack is also killing some enemies to take a look at some tree poles as well. Not a bad thing to do early game.
Yeah, you never know what your tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 tree pulls are going to be. Oh, it is the hammer at the race game. One man's trash is another man's treasure.
That's a pretty solid item to find. Not only is it 1/3 of our Dark World excess, but it's also just a very nice weapon to use. Can be kind of hard to use that hitbox at times, but it really puts on the damage, so definitely good to find that. And speaking of Dark World access, there's another piece of that puzzle inside the library.
Nah, we don't need that.
Well, I mean, I guess technically we could find the other glove, but I think we are going to need to get that, Rick.
Nah, we don't need that. Oh, wait, this isn't inverted mode. Never mind.
Yeah, we are going to need that.
By the way, just as a disclaimer, inverted is not one of the possible modes here. And we find our first bow.
And some arrows to use it with, a nice
Ooh.
red mail, and
Red mail 3
bucks.
minutes in. Where's this in my seeds?
I know, right?
Hey, so Acktheboker took his one bomb and he ended up going to a very nice place to stack up some bombs there in the southwest portion of the village.
Yeah, and as you can see, Lack does not have any bombs, so as a result, he might have to come back for some of these bomb walls here. Does find the lamp, though, inside the Kakariko well, but again, leaving one item behind here, like in Blindside.
Yeah, so he's going to head on down to the chicken coop and LackAttack right now. Without the rupees, is unable to make the purchase at the bottle vendor, but he is going to check the tavern first. And this is a good decision, I believe, what LackAttack is doing at this stage. He's going to check this first, and then he's going to head to the bomb shop, because if there's bombs inside there, you want to use them before you buy some.
Yeah, exactly. That's and of course, bombs behind in Kakariko well, just teasing. I believe there are also bombs inside the chicken coop as well, so just this seed is being really mean with those 3 bomb locations.
The seed just does not want to be nice to our runners at this stage. But here's the question is, because Lack's doubling back to these locations, is there something important inside of these?
We'll have to see. At least here anyway, in Blindside again, 3 bombs in the well, but need to see what's in the back of Blindside here first.
Yep. And this would be the last possible bomb spot here, as we've got nothing else out of this, and Ack is 1 rupee short, but he knows where he's going to be able to get that 1 rupee as we get the bloomerang.
Okay, well, not a required item, so Lack didn't miss out, but as you can see, he is going to go back and get these items anyway, which will take a little bit of time, but, it's better to, find out much later in the seed, oh, wait, I could have needed something from in here this whole time.
Oh, yeah. And that's never a good feeling.
Oh, no, it's not. The worst, you could say.
So Ack, 1 rupee short, is going to go and pick up that rupee. Yeah, there it is, the 104. Now he's going to be able to purchase the bottle vendor. And inside the bottle vendor, it is just a piece of heart. So the only thing of significance in this village so far is the hammer.
Not true. We also found the bow. We got the lamp. I think those items are pretty important.
No, they're not.
Well, there is that green pendant over in Eastern Palace. That those 2 items kind of puts that in logic.
But it's a pendant.
Yeah, but it's green pendant. It's special. Get an extra item.
Oh gosh, what if Sahasrara is vanilla?
There you go.
There's the red mail.
Sometimes you gotta follow the breadcrumbs. That's what you used to tell me when I started playing.
Man, I love it when you get the red ring into a Zelda seed 7 minutes in.
Yes, I love that too, actually.
LackAttack's about to go pick up his hammer. Zach, with his hammer, is going to go into the castle.
Well, hey, bow's pretty effective in the castle. A lot of the guards will go down pretty quickly with it.
So just to state this, as we're waiting to see what the next item comes up here for Ack, this is not an elimination match for LackAttack24, as this is the first pairing of the groups. The winner moves on with a chance to qualify for the brackets. The loser, they will be dropped down and they'll play the loser of the 2 versus 3 seed with a chance of redemption in this double elimination group pairing style.
Yeah, so they'll have another chance. The other two people in this group, Megawatt and Cassidy Moen, currently actually doing one of their matches right now during this race. But yeah, it's not a one shot. They'll be having other opportunities to make it through to the bracket stage.
Yeah, so when you have 3 hearts, you got to be a little careful down here with the mini Moldorm cave. And Lack was going to go hammer style, but the hammer hitbox, as you mentioned before, pretty janky. Mini Moldorm trying to sneak his way on over. Ack avoiding the fairy because he doesn't want that at this point. If he had a mirror, that would have maybe made his decisions a little different. I don't know where Lack could possibly find a mirror, or Ack could find a mirror. Maybe it's in that mini Moldorm cave.
I think that's exactly where it is. You could also find an Aether medallion there, but one thing Ack did find, he did find a nice green book of literacy, though. So,
You know, the annoying thing is when you have the red mail, it's harder to death warp.
yes, it is. It's a lot harder, especially in Hyrule Castle, where like the enemies will only do like a half a health, if not even that.
Yeah, for certain. So Ack is going to go ahead and check the back so far. We have yet to see the key. It's possible that the key is behind the back 3 of escape, as Lack is going to go and he's going to avoid the heart, and now he's going to walk on back over. And I think now is where he's going to check the Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah, that looks to be the play here. It's a bit out of the way, but you know, we know that our Dark World access is behind those boots, so
Flute.
Flu's pretty good.
Flute's pretty significant.
Yeah, definitely. That's going to allow him to kind of zip across the light world a little faster, especially to Ice Rod Cave, where Lack is going right now.
Now, here's the thing. At this stage, we have the potential of maybe beating all 3 of our pendant, or rather, all 3 of our light world dungeons.
That is true. We just
Now
need to get
that's
that glove somehow.
now that, of course, is barring the key or big key that could be on the torch. And Ack is skipping the Sahasrah's back closet, and this is for good reason at this point, because his game plan now is I got the bow and I've got the lamp for a reason. Sahasrah's got to have something good.
Yeah, you almost have to look at Eastern Palace, at least in this seed, as technically 4 items. Because, yeah, you get that green pendant, so you may as well you're coming back to Sahasrah's regardless with that green pendant. So you may as well just do Eastern first and come back for the Sahasrah items.
And Lack's got the same idea. And if we get our first item inside of Eastern, it is a 10 bomb pack.
I guess Lack's plan to go into Eastern, it makes sense. I mean, you can't spell Lack without Ack.
You know, any more like that, I think I'll be on commentary with Eudaimonistic here.
Come on, people have already started saying it in chat, so I had to get one out there.
So these two doing the virtual high five here in Eastern. What do you think Sahasrah has? Since this obviously is going to be the play, that they're both going to make it their way over to the end of this dungeon.
I'm going with what you suggested earlier. I think it's going to be Vanilla Boots.
Well, we'll find out. So here we go through Eastern Palace. Once again, 3 items inside. Big chest has just a compass. The only thing dangerous is the fact that these runners are on 3 hearts, but remember, they got red mail. But red mail doesn't care when you're trying to do the anti-fairy skip.
That's right. Those anti-fairies are considered more like obstacles than enemies. So
Yep.
no matter what, you take 1 heart of damage, no matter what. And LackAttack
Lack with the
plays
gamble
here.
So if Ack finds the map, that could be an advantage here, although Lack is going to go ahead and pick up some rupees while he is here. And it is just the map in the big key chest.
Nice play. Almost takes a death, though. Needs to be careful going through these next few rooms.
Yep. Especially with the anti-fairy coming up in the next room.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
He does know what's underneath these pots. That is good knowledge to know what's underneath these pots when you need them.
I mean, that's definitely a skill that a lot of, like, even just speedrunners of the vanilla games will take in mind. And pretty much all Zelda categories know where those pickups are. So if you are low, get some safeties if you need them.
Mm-hmm. Sword for both of these runners will make this final room good, and let's see how both of these runners deal with the Armos. And Lack's going to be extremely happy here when he finds that this is not the map.
Oh,
There's the 5 arrows. And beautiful for Lack. Let's see how Ack does. There's the 5 for Ack. It looks like he's got this pretty well set as well. And that's a beautiful textbook as well.
Yeah, great fight for both runners.
All right, so one last chance for our friends here in chat. What does Sahasrahla have? Is it going to be vanilla?
I think it's going to be, Rick. I think it's going to be.
And it is.
Oh!
Not vanilla. It's a refund. There's some money and a couple of pieces of hearts. So Sahasrahla comes up extremely empty, which is kind of interesting. Then in that case, what's going through your mind is what, Slim?
Did my opponent do this?
Well, not only that, but why did you give me the bow and the lamp so early? So the next thing that will probably go through your mind after you're done with this is, what does the Palace of Darkness have?
Right.
So we're going to be seeing Ack now go into the escape area here. This is something we've already seen from Ack, so he will get his items here. The big difference, though, is that Ack will, or rather Lack, will not have to do a death warp. He's got that mirror.
That is correct. He does. He'll save a little bit of time here.
And so Ack is going to go ahead and activate the flute. And this is probably we're going to see Ack check the South Shore area, the dam, and then over towards the mini Modorm cave.
Or he could also just kind of follow that flute and be like, well, maybe my progression's on Death Mountain. Maybe he goes there first.
So Ack is going to go and flute to, you are right, up to the mountain. Now, this is a little unfortunate here for Ack, is because of the fact that he does not have the mirror. So he can't get into the Tower of Hera.
Yeah, that is definitely the case. That is definitely true.
So now the question does start to grow in intensity. Where are the boots? Because you got to figure with that glove there, and I was being a little facetious earlier about it, but you've got to figure that the boots are somewhere early in this chain, and if not, it's a real rude seed.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so what Ack just did, by the way, is he wasn't going up to the mountain for major reasons. He was going up there to get his start point. So he saved the old man, and now he's got the mountain cave for his free health replenishment anytime he wants in the seed.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. That way, like, you could have also checked Spectacle Rock as well, but, if it didn't have an item, that later you'd have to come back anyway, so... And this is the correct call, because he is going to find the mirror here in a little bit.
Yeah, and that might bring him back up to the mountain. So now the question is, where is the progression? It's either in Desert or it's in the Tower of Hera.
That's true. We have a book for Desert. We have the mirror for Hera. So yeah, either of those plays.
And
could
when I
be where our
say
items are.
Hera, by the way, I mean actually not just the Tower of Hera, but also East Death Mountain, because of the hammer. We do have access to that area as well. And Desert means also the Desert Ledge and Agena.
Mm-hmm.
So Lack's going to go ahead and activate his Flu, and Ack is going to go get his mirror as well as his Ether. And both of these runners will be tied as far as what they've done so far in this seed. The only difference here, and one thing to keep note, Lack's got a few checks he's got to make here in this village. I don't think he had enough rupees for the bottle vendor going through here the first time around.
He did not, so yep, gonna get that piece of hearts. And also, well, okay, I was almost wondering if Ack was going to go straight back up the mountain because he did find the mirror, but it looks like he's also going to check Ice Rod Cave first.
Yeah, it's a case where you don't want to leave a loose square behind like this, and this is where runners can get into trouble. I can speak this from experience. It happened to me, especially qualifier 16, when there was a hammer here in this Ice Rod Cave, and guess what? You put this off, that's an item you could have lingering for a long time. Now we're gonna get a check over here from Lack, and oh, there is our Moon Pearl right there on the Desert Ledge. And Ack is going up the mountain.
And Lack is going into Desert because he sees that Moon Pearl. Of course he's going to try to grab it.
So now the next question is, what can we do here in Desert?
Well, it'll largely depend on key placement for sure.
Yep, it will depend on what's in this chest right here. And it is an immediate cutoff. The map is there. We have a shield inside Spectacle Rock, which Ack is not going to grab. Lack is going to see what's on that torch, and they just see that it is a small key. So small key will lead to the big key. Now, he doesn't have gloves, so he can't check it right there. We got our map check. We got a 5-6 crystal up on Skull Woods. I saw Turtle Rock was a crystal as well, but that's pretty much all I could see.
I want to say that it's one of the right dungeons on the right side of the map, but it wasn't Turtle Rock. Ice Palace, it looks like.
Ice Rod was the other pendant, according to Chance. Thank you very much for that. So that is our 3 pendants right there. So we are obviously a Fire Source, Titan Mitts, Flippers. Those things definitely can't be on that pedestal now. As Ack is inside this Tower of Hera, a heart container, the first item. Lack is up on the mountain. And now that we've already checked Desert, unless Agena had something, and Lack did not check Agena. Progression's here on this side of the mountain. ₹300 is up on the floating island. Lack is heading up the mountain at this point. And Ack said no to the Tower of Hera, but I think it's because it's a pendant, and maybe he wants to wait for a Hera pot situation.
Yeah, potentially. He did find a heart in there, but that's one item of the 2, so maybe he feels comfortable that, I got one item, so
yeah,
maybe I can not worry about it.
Especially with it being a pendant dungeon.
Yeah, exactly.
There's our first glove. So that is now Dark World access once LackAttack gets through all of this.
This will also put the boots, somewhere. The boots can be in more locations now, for sure, now that we found that. So it may be a while till we get that other glove, or we could find the boots here and get up there anyway. We'll have to see.
Yeah, we got Paradox Cave coming up here with the 7 items inside. One of it being a heart container, the other being bombs, as Lack is now heading in through this Tower of Hera. And you can get to Moldorm.
You can.
So far, we're seeing a whole lot of love here in Paradox Cave. And there's our 3rd and final shield already. And Lack is saying no to the Tower of Hera as well. What if the boots are upstairs?
That would be interesting. Whoever goes back for that will definitely be rewarded if it is there, of course.
So Ack is going to check the back 3 of Escape. We know one of these is going to be a key.
And we found the map, so there will be 2 items exactly back here.
We have the Quake. We have 50 rupees, and there is the key. And this is going to turn into a healthy seed for both of these runners once we're done with everything here. Now, Ack now has to know that the desert area has to have the last piece of progression.
The cabbages did not want him to float away, though.
Yep, so now what we were going to see is Ack is going to get the information about the Moon Pearl there. And Lack's going to have to be careful. He's getting dead rocked here pretty badly. And we'll get into the cave without taking the death. That would be a worse place to take a death, even though there's nothing here. It just means you know he's going to have to want to come back here. You die before you get 7 items, you're coming back.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, 7 items. And you're looking for something to progress the seed. Yeah, you'd be coming back here immediately.
Now, an interesting thing here for Ack is that he could have the possibility of stealing the key if he chooses to do so with this desert. If he wants to make a chance on something being on the right-hand side, that would give him an edge.
It would be an interesting play, because we know we're going to get the boots at some point for that other lift upgrade. So, you know, it could definitely save some time, assuming that there is something of value in the second half of it.
By the way, I do want to point out that one of the hearts there was Sanctuary Heart for Lack.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, I would also point out that just for people who are just coming here, LackAttack, who lost game number 1, elected not to make any changes.
Yep, so we're using the same seeds, the same settings they used for game 1, and the same settings that we saw for all the qualifiers we did in the past month.
I really like what Ack is doing here. I really like it, because you got the bow really early, you got the lamp really early. His mindset is there's got to be something in the Palace of Darkness at this point.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that play for sure. Like, why give you a bow so early?
Yeah.
I mean, you need it regardless, but those 2 items, and, you know, I mean, we would have had the hammer. We needed the hammer for Dark World anyway, but, like, hammer too, so this is like a full clear of pod.
Absolutely. So there's the map information there for Lack, and if I'm Lack at this point, I don't have the Fire Rod, and Skull Woods is a crystal. Maybe I might go into the first section, but my main focus is to head into the Thieves Town area.
Yep, another crystal there, so definitely it would be a nice play.
So now the question is here, as we pointed out before, what is Ack going to find here in the Palace of Darkness? Well, he's going to find a key, first of all. As Zack is going to make his way over here to the right-hand side, see what is over here. While Lack is having some difficulty with everything and anything that's in this room. This is where having the Cane of Samaria is a great find.
It's a pretty terrible room. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, absolutely. So far, we're just seeing keys here inside of this Palace of Darkness, and Lack is going to say exit, and he's going to go back in. And I think at this point, Lack is grabbing this key so he doesn't get himself into a soft lock situation.
Yeah, you do have to be pretty careful with Skull Woods and this particular version of the logic and the settings we're using. Believe the advanced placement, because yeah, that's one chest that's always guaranteed to be a small key. Not necessarily the case anymore.
Heading into the pinball room, and Ack gets through the mimics to find one of our big keys is over there. And I was wondering if Ack was going to go straight to Helma now, but he's choosing not to do so. And so we've got nothing but a reset out of the room there for Lack.
Yeah, I think he wanted to use that to get a better mirror placement.
20 rupees. Nothing good here inside of this Skullwood so far. So he's going to leave at this point. And this is where you're going to go to Thieves Town. As we get ready to see the hammer jump here for Ack, or at least he was going to try to, but unfortunately got himself a little off centered there. The floor started crumbling a little too fast, and he can't pull it off right now.
Plus, looked like that mini Helma was trying to get involved with the bomb jump as well, so probably a good idea to just kind of step away and try again after getting these items.
20 rupees inside the Sea House. Ack with 3 keys is going to check Harmless Hellway. And gets a piece of heart for his troubles.
Man, we have still not found anything of major value in Palace of Darkness yet. We do have some chests coming up here, though, so we'll see what they got. I believe we got the Bombos medallion inside the brewery as well, and on Lack's side.
Yes, we did. And just another piece of heart there for Ack. And a sword upgrade inside the chess game for Lack.
And another heart piece for
and there's nothing inside of this Palace of Darkness. Wow! The bow and the lamp are red herrings.
I mean, yeah, that's the only way to say it, because, yeah, we did not find anything in these dungeons.
Then we find the single arrow inside of Thieves Town.
And see, this is actually kind of nice for Lack, because I believe with the big key placement in pod, if Lack comes back, you know, looking to go mode pod, that'll be a pretty easy go mode, assuming he goes right to the bow side.
Yeah, and maybe he'll put it off, because at this point I'm going to assume that Lack's major route is going to be the counterclockwise way through the Dark World.
Looks that way.
There's the big key. And the compass. And you can't fall for Ack for making the move. As I said when he made his way into the Dark World, it's a move that that would feel right. You already finished off Eastern. Then you got yourself the bow really early in this seed. You got the lamp really early in this seed, and you got the hammer as well. So this seed was screaming, if you're following the breadcrumbs, that something must be here in the Palace of Darkness. And it obviously turns out to be that you got the bow to complete the game.
Yeah, pretty much. That's kind of the way I look at this kind of the part of a randomizer run. We've already found the Dark World access. We're kind of starting to go through those initial checks in the Dark World and all the dungeons we can do. The next step is the next pair of gloves. We know where that is. We know that there's going to be a pair of gloves on the library. So, you know, you have to kind of think, well, if I'm going to ultimately get the mitts for this next step, I need to find the boots, which means the first 4 dungeons in the Dark World are going to be probably the best bets for them. Dungeons
Absolutely.
are packed with items. You're going to probably find something in any of the 4.
And the Cane of Samaria inside of the Thieves' Town. See, they're on the 2nd floor.
That's kind of another late game item, but still a good item. We will need it to complete both Mire and Turtle Rock, so it is a good find.
Almasar down for Acktheboker. He will get the compass and then his crystal, and he will take a 1-0 crystal lead inside of this series. This game 2 of this best of 3 in the first round of this group area.
Mm-hmm. And the hunt for the boots continues. And I guess just other items in general, but the boot's definitely going to be that next big step for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
And here's a check we've not seen yet. Looks like Ack is going over to Hype Cave, so 5 more items on the table here shortly.
Yeah, I respect that decision right here. 50 rupees here for Lack. And so Ack making his way over to Hype Cave. Really fast 5 items to get as Lack comes up with the Cane of Samaria so far inside of this Thieves' Town, but nothing of the next stage of this progression, as you've been mentioning. And remember, those boots came into play in game 1.
They really did. We're going to get a shovel, half magic, another piece of heart, and just a blue rupee inside Hype Cave here.
That half magic is nice, and also that shovel is nice because the way the Ack is probably going to route this now is he's going to check Stumpy, the shovel, and then make his way over towards... No, he's not. Or maybe he's just going for this stone, or maybe not. Is he checking Bombos? He's checking Bombos.
Makes sense. It's over here. If we end up doing the Smith chain later, we can kind of save time by just fluting over here in that direction.
Yeah. So Axe then gonna probably make his way over and check the stuff afterwards. So green goo in a bottle. Now that's interesting because we have yet to see a bottle.
That's right, and Lack will be able to grab it because he actually has the Master Sword.
But first, LackAttack is going to be heading for the digging game, where the dig can be anywhere between 1 and 30. As Ack checks K45. And there's our first bottle for Lack. So that bottle does not make much of a difference now. It's nice to have that blue goo. And both of these runners are going to be making their way over to Stumpy. The only big difference is Ack is going to be checking the shovel after he's done with that. There's the boots on Stumpy!
Right there. Now there's our mitts, folks, once we get back over there.
So both of these runners get the boots in relatively the same time. I mentioned this just a few moments ago. This was a big difference in game 1. You mentioned it actually. 40 minutes difference between when Ack got the boots and when Lack got the boots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very, very big difference in time there.
And Lack is wasting no time. He is going to go right straight and trade in those boots for the mitts here. And will he do the breadsmith chain after he's done with this now?
It does kind of add another check into that whole chain because we do have a bottle now, so it could also route in the bottle vendor as well, just to take, or not bottle vendor, sick kit as well, just to get rid of that little loose square now too.
There's Zach getting the Titan Smiths, and Lack pulling off the spin speed right there. And both of these runners doing the high five at this point, tied with one crystal piece. As Lack grabs the breadsmith, and he's going to take him on over. And he is doing exactly what you're saying right now. He's going to go check the sick kid right now. We'll see what he has. And there's Zach. And it's just a 20 rupee. And what are you doing, breadsmith?
He's doing whatever he wants to do.
Ack is checking the pegs right now, and that's what Lack will be doing as well in just a moment. Steps inside, we find our fire rod in there. So now Skull Woods can be completed by Ack. Lack may put it off checking that for right now, considering the fact that he's already got both items out of there, although it is part of the 5-6 chain.
Yeah, we'll have to see what he decides to do with that.
By the way, something that has now opened up to Lack that is fully completable. Maybe. Misery Mire.
Yeah, that is true.
And that's the only question mark, is whether or not the Quake is required to get in.
Yeah, and that is a Quake. That is a medallion that Ack actually has managed to find himself, but Lack, on the other hand, seems to be lacking it.
I am not even going to dignify that.
I wouldn't either, honestly. That was bad.
That pun bombed, just like those 3 bombs did. It looks like Lack was trying to save his, try to go back into the Dark World, and has to amend his plans. And you can tell by the sword slashes, he probably wasn't really happy with the chain of events. But let's see where Lack goes. Does he go towards Misery Mire at this point? Does he flute to 6? No, he does not. He's going back to the village at this point, and it looks like he wants to finish off Skull Woods.
I think he just wants to, get this area done with, so he doesn't have to really even worry about it or think about it anymore.
Yep. So Ack is about to go pick up his second sword, and no, Black is not. I have an idea. I know where Lack is going at this point. He's going to check this right now, and then he's making his way over towards the Graveyard Ledge area. And then he will do both of the boot blocked areas, as now Ack has completed his medallions with that Bombos.
So now for him, obviously he's going to take care of Thieves Town. I wouldn't even be surprised to see him take care of Skull Woods after this, now that he does have the Fire Rod. But then, he can basically complete both Desert and Mire with no issue. Because he'll have all the items for it once he's done with Thieves Town.
Yep. So Lackers right now, what he's going to do is he's going to do the Graveyard Ledge, then he's going to do King's Tomb, and then I wouldn't be surprised if he goes into does the back 3 of Escape, because that's where the Quake turned out to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Just 20 rupees inside the Graveyard Ledge, so nothing back here so far.
Oh, I dislike when that mirror bonk happens.
Yeah, but at least this one's not going to hurt him because what he needs to do now is in the light world. And so, Boots, the only thing Boots have unlocked so far is the Titan's mitts. And here goes Lack. He's going to head back over and do the back three of Escape now.
Okay, so yeah, that'll give him his other medallion.
This is pretty decent routing here by Lack, even though he didn't get anything out of it on the other Northern Dark World checks or the Northern World checks here. He's lumping everything together into one. So now Lack's going to start here, and I think this is going to be the Hype Cave check now.
I think it is as well, definitely. Maybe potentially Bombos as well, because he knows that's also going to be a loose square.
This also might influence Lack's decisions here, because that half magic might make certain places a little more inviting to Lack.
Yeah, maybe a couple.
But it does actually look like that Lack is wanting to attack the Palace of Darkness area.
Unfortunately, he does not have the knowledge we do that there really aren't going to be any great items in Palace of Darkness, so that's a little unfortunate. But it makes sense. 5 items in pod.
Yeah, 5 items in here.
You'd think something would be in there.
Yeah. And so, therefore, we'll see Lack go through here as Zack gets ready to face off against Blind.
Did they go into Desert Palace? They did briefly go into Desert Palace, but they had no means to actually complete it because there was a key on the torch.
Key in the torch, and a map was in the first chest. As the one nice thing about being in the Palace of Darkness for Lack is that he's going to have the boots, so that probably will help accelerate a few things, but that what he's doing here with the Palace of Darkness is countered by Ack being able to do Thieves Town with the boots.
Yeah, and there's like a couple of really bad rooms in Thieves Town, and the boots really benefit too, so.
And you gotta also remember that this is a 1v1. You've got to play this with your opponent in mind.
Yeah,
you can't play this
definitely.
like this is an overall qualifier. Maybe you think your opponent has already done Misery Mire in Desert, and if you're mirroring his movements, maybe you don't feel like you might have a chance to counter their moves or feel like you're going to be behind throughout the entire seed.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, Ack has been a very, very proactive participant in pretty much every tournament we've had for Link to the Past Randomizer, and Lack's no stranger to the competitiveness of just racing and speedrunning in general. So they're both, I'm sure, definitely thinking about that aspect of this a lot.
Absolutely. Ack has the randomizer experience, and Lack has the vanilla experience.
Exactly. Couldn't say it better myself.
Oh, I didn't think he was going to get through there in time. I thought the switch was going to hit before he walked past that blue.
Mm-hmm.
And here's Lack trying to set things up for the hammer jump, and he pulls it on first try.
He's going to get 2 heart pieces for his trouble.
Yes, he will. This is a
And a
healthy
refill.
seed.
Yeah, we had like red mail, like the 5-minute mark, it seemed like.
Red mail, 11 hearts. And somebody in chat was asking whether or not the pedestal is dead. Well, there's two possibilities, and one of them is a big dependent. The first possibility is the good old ye old ice rod hunt, which we all love in this game. We all love that ice rod hunt.
You say that with such enthusiasm and confidence.
The other item is a maybe, and it depends on how the key layout is to Ice Palace, and that is the hookshot.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, hookshot could be there.
And that's it.
Yeah, pretty much, because of Ice Palace, like, we know the flippers aren't going to be there. Yeah, really just those two items, it looks like.
Yep, absolutely.
And when has hookshot ever been on pedestal?
I don't know if Ack was in that race, but I know Lack was in that race where the hookshot was in the pedestal during one of the qualifiers.
And they were both in the seed that had the reveal of the group stages, which hookshot was also on the pedestal there.
You are correct. You know, it's always fun when you see the chat trying to clamor up interesting ways that this tournament has been completely evil. This is a beautiful the beautiful beetle worm there for Lack. That's an NMG experience shining proudly for him.
Yep, definitely. With the Master Sword, too, which is what you would normally have in NMG at this point.
Yep. Also, shout out to the tie that we had earlier today. We're not going to spoil what happened or anything else about that race, but watch it. It was on Speed Gaming 4. For those of you who are watching this in a later time, it's on YouTube. Watch it. You won't be disappointed.
Spoiler, they tied.
Damn it! Ah, how dare you spoil this? And here I was hoping I could just watch it in peace later.
It's okay. It's still very, very entertaining.
Yes, it is.
So.
It is. And yes, we do have a whole bunch of matches tonight here on the Speed Gaming channel. Speed Gaming 2, 3, 4, and even 5 tonight. Take a look at the schedule, see some of the great races we got coming up here during the Link to the Past Randomizer Tournament. Day number 2 of group stage.
Yeah,
Black checking Desert and Meyer.
And Ack is fighting a giant moth, but the moth goes down. And that's going to be his third crystal.
Ooh, Tempered Sword. Nice find.
Very nice find.
So at the 52-minute mark at this stage, what's going through your mind? Ooh, what's on the pedestal?
That's apparently what's on Ack's mind right now.
Couch Cash. Does Ack make his way over here to Meyer as well? The answer is yes. Yeah, the only thing that Ack is probably going to wish at this point is that he would have had that Tempered Sword, as it turns out to be ether required for Misery Mire, but he's going to wish he had. Oh, is he going in without the Tempered Sword, or is he just opening up the portal? I think he's just opening up the gate, rather.
This might be an interesting play because we have to go back through the front side of desert anyway, so we could just mirror an inner desert from here.
Well, if he does decide...
He
he's
takes the
going
bird with
in!
him. With the bird!
Not only is he doing the memes of carrying the bird inside with him, but he's also doing this on the Master Sword, so we'll see how that comes into play when we take care of Vitreous later on. Lack is going to be able to do this NMG style. And really, that's the only difference between the two. Master Sword doesn't really matter for anything else inside of this dungeon except for Vitreous.
Yeah, and it's not really a big difference. Like, there'll be more hits needed for sure on Vitreous, but you can still pretty much approach it the same way, I feel like.
Compass was inside the first chest. We get ourselves the big key. Decision time. Oh, Lack may have thought about it for just a second.
Yeah, it looked like he was kind of looking to the right a little bit, but decided not to, and it looks like Ack's not doing that either. And we haven't found any items. We're still looking for 3 potential items still.
3?
Yeah, Ice Rod, Hook Shot.
Oh, right, okay.
Flippers.
I thought you were talking about the items in this dungeon.
Oh, no.
Because this has the potential of being 4 items for Ack. Because this is the other part of that 5-6 combo.
Mm-hmm.
Both runners mirroring each other at this point in time. The only difference here is that Ack has finished off with Skull Woods, which is a very quick, very short dungeon.
Yeah, and Ack looked for the other items in Skull Woods too, right? So, like,
Yeah.
all Lack has to do is just go to the back.
Yep. Here's the cutscene chest for both of these runners. We can sit there and look at the same screen. Only difference is that Wizrobes are firing at Ack. Actually, they were firing at each other.
Yeah, Ack's actually kind of avoiding the Wizrobes right now, if anything.
All right. We have ourselves
Powder.
the magic powder, which could be progression. Both still mirroring each other's movements here. Oh no, Lack is now moving. He's gonna go to Vitreous.
Ooh, this could be big.
And remember, Lack pulled off the gamble in Eastern and had to pay off. If Vitreous has the second item, that's a little more time he may gain on Ack here, but we'll find out. It's only 2 checks here for Ack, that's the difference.
Yeah, we'll see.
Small key.
He does
Small
it again!
key, Vitreous is gonna have the item!
Now, I don't think this will be like an entire back of Skull Woods save, but I mean, would you also consider the fact that Lack's gonna have a faster Vitreous fight?
Also bear in mind, I think Ack has Spooky Ace saved up.
Oh yeah, I think he does too, actually. Still though, another gamble for Lack paying off here.
Yeah, this is unbelievable. And you see that he just did the dash right there. He's all set and ready to go. And so we'll see Ack closing up the gap. Once again, don't forget, Lack is going to be going into this with the Tempered Sword. There's Ack. He gets the Spooky Part 1. And here's Lack about ready to face off against Vitreous with the Tempered Sword. So this is going to feel like the NMG run for him. Well, trying to stay away from the eyeballs at least.
Yeah, at least he has mail. That's something you don't have in the NMG run.
Oh, yeah. Because if he did this with NMG strats with the green mail, that would have been very, very problematic. Oh, Ack did not get the second room. He had to go back down. That lost him a little bit of time right there. Uh-oh. Ack is running out of time here. Oh, thankfully he got on his last attempt there with the magic powder.
So now we'll have to look at his Master Sword Vitreous fight. Going to be about the same. It's just going to be more hits required for the eyeballs.
He's going to have to be careful here. Down to 2 hearts. Pull out that blue potion. There we go. You do not want to take a death here. This would be very devastating for Ack at this stage. That would definitely give Lack some time to get that crystal advantage. I didn't even see what Vitreous dropped.
I don't remember either. I don't think it was anything valuable since the tracker's not letting up, but...
It's just a heart container. Yep. Lack forgetting that he had to grab the key off the torch. And then Ack will probably head on over to Mayur's shed and then get his tempered sword and then probably be like, oh. You have to move on at that point. You might be a little upset about it, but you have to move on.
Yeah, exactly.
Our container, the first of the items inside of Desert Palace. So if you stole the key, you didn't get anything of major value.
Did you see what Ack's doing, or what Lack is doing again?
Well, this makes sense. At least this one here is a move that a lot of runners would make, is to go right straight to the Lambos, and if they drop that second item.
Yeah, definitely. It's not that much of a gamble, but still, it is. It's funny when you just think about the fact that it's happened 2 times already successfully, and, let's go for a 3rd time. Why not?
Okay, I'm being told here that apparently the reason why he went right straight for the dungeon is because he had the spooky action saved up, Ack did, and if he went to the shed, he would have lost it.
That does make sense.
So Ack's going to do the same thing here. He's going to get this heart container mirror, and then he's going to go right straight to the Lamos.
Yeah.
Gets 2 of the Lamos down, and now the 3rd is down as well. And it's the compass, so the big chest will have the second item.
Unfortunately, the smallest time loss, it's not the case.
Or I'm being corrected again. Never mind what I said about a minute ago. Going back into the desert, he wants to check that big chest. Maybe we might finally meet up with Agina in an hour or 1 in.
Did both of them not check Agina?
I don't think so.
See, I know Lack didn't, but...
Inside the big chest we have... It's a double-hearted desert. And here comes the Agina check. And Ack pulling out the mirror right there signifies to me that he's going to be doing the same thing, checking the big chest. Maybe checking checkerboard. I don't think Ack has checked that as well.
So where do you think we're going to go next, Rick?
Well, I think at this point you go up the mountain, maybe.
And
let's see where Lack decides to head to.
Yeah, it seems like he's deciding something else right now. Oh, shovel.
Yeah, he's going to go ahead and check the shovel, yeah. And don't forget that at this point, Ack does have the ability to check and see what we have at the Pyramid Fairy, and that will allow him to check the pyramid as well. And Lack has absolutely no wants for that piece of heart, and Zach will go inside the checkerboard cave. Game 2 of this best of 3 series, Zach has a 1-0 lead, an hour 3 in. We are playing 7-7 open. Lack wanted no change from game 1 to game 2. We are checking the magic powder.
I did enjoy the nice little like shovel dash that Lack did, but did he have to attack the ground 24 times?
Yes.
Okay, makes sense.
It's his signature. It's his signature. Just 20 rupees. So Lack at this point is going to do Skullwoods. Ack is going to do Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, it really seems like at this point, like Death Mountain, the dark side of Death Mountain, is really, really calling out, and it's calling out strong right now.
All right, so what are we going to have at the Pyramid Fairy today? Now, also, this gives Ack the ability to check also the Pyramid Ledge, which we haven't seen so far, and maybe even Catfish, as it looks like Ack is setting up the bomb dupe. And does he get it? He
does.
goes back and forth to make sure he has it, but there he goes.
And he had it on like the first like screen transition too, so it's amazing watching these runners who have obviously done these like techniques many times in Randomizer. It's just cool to see them like just know the timing that well to make it work.
Absolutely. Pyramid Fairy has bombs and a bottle. And Ack is going to throw that bottle into the water and get a B for his troubles. So next up is Catfish. Catfish never has anything, does it?
Except when it does. I think that's how the saying goes anyway.
It's a correct here. And here, Lack finishes off with Skullwoods. Will he check Pyramid Fairy? We are all knotted up on the crystal count. Slim, this is a lot of fun.
This really is. And, you know, if Lack decides to go straight to Death Mountain here and not do the Pyramid Fairy check, could potentially save a lot of time. Because, I mean, looking at this right now, it's looking like there's going to be some kind of progression on Death Mountain. Just how many few checks we have remaining on the bottom of the world as it is. We can't get into Ice Palace logically right now. So, you know, you got to be thinking, well, I can always come back and do Pyramid Fairy later and see if maybe it doesn't have something.
Splash deletion.
Ooh, boy.
And he didn't get it that time around. He's going to try it again. He's not getting it. Now he's going to try with the Cane of Samaria. See if he can't get the splash deletion here. He got it.
He's a raft now.
And, you know, it was bad news, though, that Lack got the big key out of the chest there, because he's already got both items outside of the Skull Wood, so this is an unfortunate return to this dungeon.
I guess it's kind of understandable that it's been such a long time since he was here, so he probably just kind of forgot about it.
Yep. So he'll find out then and now that was the map, and that will complete all the items. Oh, did he not pull out an item over here on this other side?
Yeah, I didn't get the one down here.
All right. There's a 20 rupee there from Zora, so nothing there as well. And Lack, realizing that he just made an oops right there with Skull Woods, is going to go ahead and leave at this point. So now the question becomes, where does Lack go? Does he go to the Pyramid Ferry, or will he head up to the mountain? It turns to be that Ack is heading in
Magic Bat, I
to
believe.
do the Magic Bat.
And Lack he was thinking about it, but looks like he is going to be going back to Flute Spot 8, going to be doing some fake flipper stuff here.
Yeah, he's going to move himself over to the screen just a little bit more. Having a little bit of difficulty trying to set up the fake flippers. Finally gets it. And Ack is going to pull out some rupees as Lack is going to go check to see what we have on the island. Also check to see what we have maybe at Hobo. Nope, he's just going to go right straight for the portal. So Lack is going to duplicate what we just saw from Ack. Gonna have to be careful here in this fake flipper state. He takes a hit and he is down for the count. Ack is back up on the mountain.
He is, and this looks like this is actually going to be like the Dark Death Mountain checks. He also has the book, which I don't think we had before. Or yeah, we did. We did. Never mind.
You know, the amazing thing at this point is the progression, as far as we know, has to be up here.
Yeah.
But where?
We have all 3 medallions, so we can definitely go inside Turtle Rock.
And for all we know, by the way, the next progression item may just be the flippers to get us into Ice Palace.
Yep, exactly.
I see our tracker's throwing a little shade at me. There's never anything in Super Bunny Cave.
Except when there is. That's the saying, right?
Yeah, and unfortunately, it was. At one point in time, Lack is heading up the mountain. And Ack is going to go check Super Bunny Cave first. Shoutouts to Iceman, who is our tracker behind the scenes, for clicking the buttons for us on this match. Super Bunny yields gold and wood. Where should we go, Slim?
I'm thinking Turtle Rock.
We bonk in, we find a piece of heart. It looks like Ack is thinking about it. He's taking care of all obstacles that are in his way. We're gonna hover.
Here's the thing. We know we're not going to get hookshot from many of these chests.
And he falls.
Ooh.
Now he's trying to do it once again. Trying to get himself across. Almost there. And he's across. And he gets a red boomerang. And now one more chest. This is the one that is burning a spot in X's brain because he falls again. And this time he gives up. Meanwhile, Lack, he is not going to do any hovering, and he's just going to go ahead and leave.
So that kind of, evened out a little bit. Ack is definitely like a few screens ahead, but still, like in this current progression right now, it's pretty close.
Yes, it is. This is an extremely tight match, and we've got ourselves the magic cape. I still think it would be extremely painful for both of these runners, but funny for us behind the scenes if the flippers is the next chain of progression.
Yes, it would, because that opens up a lot more floodgates to where certain items can be.
Yeah, and I wasn't even thinking of that floodgate, but that definitely would be a bad place for something to be.
The worst kinds of seeds are when you have to dip Turtle Rock for an item to get the Ice Rod somewhere else.
We've never have had those happen before.
Maybe once or twice.
Noting the cape differences here, thanks to chat for pointing this out, it is a 49-second difference between the cape acquisition for Ack and then for Lack, and Lack is doing this the wrong way, and he just realizes what he has done.
Muscle memory hurts sometimes.
At least we have half magic, so this is going to hurt a little less. Just think if we didn't have the half magic.
Yeah, if you didn't have to have magic, it'd be really, really close. I believe the race earlier today had that kind of happen, and they had just enough magic to finish up the rest of it.
Lack pulling out his cape. Just a reminder for those who are just seeing Rando but don't have a lot of familiarity with playing it, there is a little bit of a delay between when you pull out the cape and when it actually does activate for you.
We like to call it cape delay.
And it sucks.
It does.
Key on the lava chest. By the way, chat pointing out one thing to note here, that cape does not unlock anything inside of this dungeon under advanced logic.
Yeah, that is correct. So we will not need... You basically don't need Cape, Burna, or Mirror Shield for the logical progression on Laser Bridge anymore.
Yeah, but bear in mind, we do know where all the shields are.
True.
And Ack throwing the bomb in the wrong direction. Mimic Cave check here for Acktheboker. Man, this is a tight race, Slim. I'm glad you're on it for me. For those with me here. Flippity flip!
Flippers in Mimic Cave. Well, that's one of the puzzle pieces we still need.
There's a piece of heart right there. And Mac throws the bomb in the right direction. You know, those kind of things where you throw it in the wrong direction, just it's one of those the button hits at the wrong time type of moments. You one framed it.
Mm-hmm.
And Lack will pick up his flippers as Ack is making his way through the next section. You know what Ack is hoping at this point, to see the ice rod in here.
If I were him, I'd be hoping for both the ice rod and a hook shot, but But yeah, definitely the ice rod, because if it's not here, we know that we're going to be needing to do the unfortunate double dip of this dungeon.
At this point, this does feel like this is going to be a double dip. There's the key. There is the 20 rupees. There
Here's
is the map. And the final chest.
The compass! Only
Is
one
the other
item
dungeon
left.
item. Helmusar, or rather Trinex, will have an item, but what item is it? We'll have to wait and find out. Now, where do you go? It looks like Ack has something in mind, and it's pointy.
I wonder if he's actually kind of thinking of the possibility of saving that portal, if possible. There's a lot of interesting things that that need to happen in order to save this portal.
Well, he's in a place where he can easily take a death.
Mm-hmm. So yes, he's going into Tower of Hera. We do need to see one item from this dungeon still. So if the ice rod's here, he can use that portal and go back to where he was in Turtle Rock without needing to go through the entire front of the dungeon again.
And not getting the news that it is not here. Lack, please remember you don't have the ice rod. Lack, you don't have the ice rod. There we go.
He remembers now.
And there is the mirror for Lack. And he's going to flute away. So if ice rod is up here, advantage to Ack. If it's not up here, advantage to Lack. Is Lack going into Swamp Palace at this point? Ack jumps the bridge. There's the key. So the question is it downstairs, or does Moldorm have the second item of this Tower of Hera? We are getting a swamp check here for Lack.
And see, this is an unfortunate dip to take too, because he doesn't have the hook shot, so we don't even know if we can full clear at swamp when we're here.
Yes. 2 hits to Moldorm. He is down. It is a piece of heart. It is not here in Hera. Oh boy. Now, you know the worst thing you're going to see, the worst thing to find would be the ice rod if you're LackAttack, because remember, Trinex has an item.
Mm-hmm. That item could be the hook shot.
And that could be the hook shot. This could be a double dip of Turtle Rock. 10 arrows in the first chest.
I also do like the axe checking Spike Cave here.
Yeah.
Because he has gone to the Dark World again, but if he finds the ice rod here,
Bombs.
and takes the death, he could still save that portal, but unfortunately it's not. He's saving and quitting. He no longer has that portal anymore.
Yeah, that save and quit destroys his portal, so he's going to have to go through all of Turtle Rock when he does find it. Now, Ack, is he going to ice?
Oh boy.
He is going to ice! Somebody's about to get lucky here! Oh, he's going to Hobo. We haven't seen Hobo yet!
We have not seen Hobo yet. And if it was Hobo, well, actually, no, I don't think we could have saved the portal if it was Hobo, because we don't have the hook shot to get back over.
20 rupees, 20 rupees! 2 chests remaining for Lack. Where does Ack flute to? He's going to ice!
He's going to ice.
Oh my goodness. Hold on to your hats. Somebody's about to get lucky here.
Indeed. Who is it gonna be? I have no ideas at this point.
Ack will have the first check coming up here in the Pentagator room. Compass.
Meanwhile, Lack is checking the left side of Swamp. The part of Swamp no one wants to go to.
Left side swamp here for Lack. He's going to get the next check. He's going to get the next 2 checks. 50 rupees.
Still got another chest, though, on the right side.
And remember, Lack also has the options of maybe doing the Pyramid Fairy after he's done with this. So does he go to Swamp immediately or does he not? Notice Ack did not plan out a bomb jump. Final check of Swamp. There it is! There's the hook shot!
Swamp is completable!
LackAttack getting lucky.
Now here's
But
the thing.
wait.
Ack could still find the ice rod in Ice
I was
Palace.
about to say, wait a second though. This isn't over with. That's a key though. If LackAttack finds the ice rod in here, game over as far as the question marks are concerned.
And we just need to know where that ice rod is to be in our, well, in Lack's case, it would be go mode. In fact, then we'd know what the go mode is.
Yeah. And then Ack knows that it's going to be Swamp Palace after this. Because that's the only check he's got left.
Right, yeah.
Mushroom in the iced tea!
That's one frosty mushroom.
Big key keeps on turning. There's the compass. Does Lack go back to the big key chest at this point? Or the big chest? No, he's not.
I mean, it wouldn't be Lack if he didn't gamble on the boss and the remaining chest not having anything.
Yeah, the map is still a potential. And Ack is leaving.
Yeah. Did he find all 3 items, or does he know that the hook shot is what remains?
He's probably assuming, based on the key arrangement here, that the hook shot can't be there.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was thinking.
And therefore he got stuck. Yeah, that's what chat's saying. He got stuck. Mushroom leads to 300 rupees.
So at this point, I'd say advantage Lack right now.
Winner. If Lack wins, we get a game 3. If Ack wins, he moves on to the second round. And Ack is going into Swamp Palace as Lack finishes off against Argus. He gets 50 rupees. Back to Hookshot Cave. Maybe the ice rod is in that one spot that Ack didn't get to.
That's right. That's still up there. At this point, I think Lack's gonna still go to Ice Palace, and he does have he shouldn't get stuck with what he has now, so he'll be able to full clear it. And if it's not there, I mean, Lack also has Hera, that one item in Hera still, so I imagine he'd probably check the Hookshot Cave first and then go right to Hera if it's not there.
checking bombos first.
Okay, yeah, get this loose square out of the way.
Amazing game number 2. Acktheboker, LackAttack24. There's some green goo for LackAttack. Where does he go? Does he flute to ice?
That green potion would be an interesting indication.
Nope, he is going to check the Pyramid Fairy. Here's the question. How many items did Ack find?
Well, he found the mushroom.
I think he only found the mushroom. So there's still 2 items in Ice Palace.
Yes, we do know what Pyramid Fairy was, so not going to find the ice rod there.
Yep, we are not finding the ice rod here. So Ack is going to get the hook shot here. So that's going to allow him to finish this dungeon off. This is turning into the classic old ice rod hunt.
Yep. This is why a lot of people have really enjoyed playing the 6-6 Ganon's Tower defeat Ganon goal, because that one ice rod, that one single item hunt, is what that one annoying thing in some of these seeds.
Absolutely. And just think if this was a 6-6, we'd be done with this game right at this point.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That hookshot would have clinched the end, as Lack is going to get nothing and nothing.
So he knows, I mean, Ice Palace would be the logical play here. That's got 3 items.
Yeah.
I think he might check Hobo, since I don't think he's checked that yet along the way.
Yep, that's where he's walking to right now.
Yep, and then he'll float over to Ice Palace.
This is going to get close.
Yeah, it's going to get really close, because, I mean, not that there's, like, much that Act did in Ice Palace, but still, like, there's, like, fewer rooms you'll have to kind of clear out and open chests for, so it'll be really close when you kind of subtract all that time.
All right, Lack going back into the portal, which suggests to me that he's going to go to Catfish.
Oh, that's right. He still has that, doesn't he?
Well, he's got that, plus all the checks with the Zora area. Oh, no, he did check Zora area. Never mind. This is just a Catfish check. Maybe he will take the portal into ice after he does this, though.
Yeah, that's why I really like this that Whirlpool portal. It does make Catfish, like, kind of line up with Ice Palace really nicely.
This seed is not done until we get the ice rod.
Yeah, it's really not. That ice rod, like, no one's going to be moving towards the goal at all until we get that.
But where could it be?
It's got to be ice. I guess not. There's still that hook shot.
There's still that one chest that Ack could not get to.
Ack didn't.
He tried to hover to it. There's the hook shot for Ack, and Lack picks up the heart container. Both of these runners lacking the ice rod to get them into go mode. And look at that. Ack did the right choice. Right side, get him hook shot so he can check the left side. Saves him a few seconds here. LackAttack is checking hook shot cave.
Oh boy. Does he still need to do Spike Cave as well?
Or is he doing Spike Cave? There, Lack finally gets the movement here, and, well, he's going to have to give up on his dashing attempts. Oh, the Tower of Hera. That's also could be in Lack's mind. Oh, goodness. What a fun tournament we've had so far.
This is only day 2, Rick. It's only day 2.
In a tournament that was ultra competitive to begin with.
Yeah.
And Ack is making the same play. And Lack is actually walking or running out of Spike Cave. So that means he wants to go into Hera. What if it was that one chest?
That's what I'm thinking most of all right now.
If it's that one chest, that gives Lack the advantage because Ack is not going to be chasing after one single item at this point.
Yeah, he's going to be going back for those 2 items in ice, and it's also just a novelty of not having to climb back up here.
Oh, here we go. Now remember, this is 3 items that Lack is going to be checking at this point. We know 2 of them are duds. One of them is the red meringue. And the fairy is not wanting to play nice with Lack at all. Come back here. Come back here.
Come back to Lack.
And while we have done that, Ack has finished off with Swamp. It is decision time.
Not just decision time, but revelation time. If it's not here, we know it's an ice.
Yes, that is 100% true. There is the red meringue. Here's the chest we can get into. It is the green potion.
So it is an ice palace, unfortunately. And I think Lack just realized that he didn't check Hera. I think he's realizing there are 3 items in ice, so that's more volume right now.
And Ack is going to buy a bomb upgrade because he only has 2 bombs. Good decision to do this before you step into the dungeon. Lack is going into ice. Ack is going into ice.
They're both going into ice.
Here we go. Ack misfires the fire rod and Lack misfires the fire rod. Now remember.
Go ahead.
You go ahead.
I was just gonna say, as we kind of called attention to earlier, because Ack has done a couple of more checks already. Like, he's done this Pingator room already. He doesn't need to do it again, so he's gonna leave while Lack is gonna have to full clear that to check the chest. So Ack doesn't have as much to do here in ice, but still, it is really, really close right now.
Compass fine for Lack right now. 2 more items inside of this ice palace. An amazing race.
Yeah, really, really good race for sure.
Ack not choosing to do the bomb jump. What if the 3rd item is on Cold Stare?
Well, we know that Lack's been gambling a lot with going to the boss immediately. That would be good for Lack.
Lack pulls off the bomb jump. Ack about ready to head on over towards the right-hand side. Lack heading over here towards the right-hand side. And here is Ack. 1 item for go mode, and there it is inside the spike room. Lack is going to go.
Lack's going right back up.
Oh my goodness! This is going to be an execution battle. Now, does Lack check this right now? He is checking it right now. Oh my goodness!
Yep, there it is.
Here we go! At 1 hour, 37 minutes, and 40 seconds, both of these runners are in!
Go mode, everybody.
Holy cow!
Let's go. Let's bring it on. Bring on Turtle Rock. Bring on the GT routing. Bring on the rest of the seed. It is straight to the end for both of these runners now, and it's pretty dang close.
Right now, Ack has a small lead. Based on his exit out of Ice Palace, Lack's gonna have to be careful down to 3 hearts. Both of them have to go back through the front section of Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and unfortunately, with where the hook shot was, like, there was no way we could have done the portal save whatsoever.
Yeah. Oh, Lack gets dead rocked. It's gonna allow Ack a little more time. People concerned that I'm going to explode. Oh my goodness, if we have that match that we had earlier today, then yeah, I'm gonna explode. You're gonna be cleaning me up off the walls.
For the rest of the tournament.
For the rest of the tournament, yes!
Yeah, but both can do silverless easily. I mean, that's...
Yeah, both of these runners are very familiar with the silverless Ganon. Lack, as we pointed out many times before, is well versed in doing the speed run of this game, has a sub 90 in the NMG category, which is the major category for this game. Ack, with his years and years of randomizer experience.
This is honestly just going to come down to, like, GT routing, I think.
Rug Doctor isn't in the SG budget. It isn't unless we can get that sweet sponsorship money from them. Contact Fiesel for business inquiries. This is what you want the race to be.
Yeah, definitely.
Ack heading here. Lack still seconds behind. Ack bonking. Lack riding. Ack falling. Lack riding.
Acktheboking, LackAttack24.
Haha. Gold sword. Fast Tranex. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3.
Oh wow, that was really nice.
And it's not a 0 cycle.
It's not, but still, that looked pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was. Lack attacking his way to Tranex. Ack getting hit just a little bit. 141.30, the death of Tranex for Ack. Fast Tranex here for Lack, trying to get him. 1 done. I don't think he's going to have the 0 cycle either. No, he's not.
And then as Ack gets the crystal, Lack starts phase 2.
29 seconds apart. And as Ack heads his way over towards Ganon's tower, there are 22 possible chests in which the big key can be located in. Pick a number, put it into chat. Tell us where you think the big key is going to be. Oh, Slim, where is it going to be?
It's going to be in chest number 8, definitely.
Chest 5. Lack running on out. Ack going into GT 142.35.
He's Going to the right first. Will it be a full right or just the first two?
Is this going to be hope? Blue rupee. Red rupee.
Back
no.
to the left.
Small key on the torch, 1:43:04, still 29 seconds apart. Lack's going left. Gotta bonk the torch. Lack grabs the key. Ack heading over here. Nice use of the hook shot right there. Small key, a palooza. Bombs. Another 20 rupees right there. Bottom right.
They are in the same room, Rick.
Arrows. They are in the same room. Does Lack continue to go this left side? 10. He's mirroring.
Oh no! My
Goodness! The Dark Magician route here for LackAttack.
Oh my gosh! This
It is
race.
gonna come down to DM. Fire
Saying
snake
no
room.
to tile room.
Small key. Randomizer room coming up here for Ack. Compass room coming up for Lack. One of these two are about to get lucky. I'll tell you what, right now, Lack isn't. And no to the randomizer room. Yes to the compass room. Lack has taken away the lead with the big key on the right-hand side.
Oh my gosh.
Dark Magician pays off for Lack. And he's the first into the gauntlet. Or the first one to the mimics, rather.
And as we've said before, Lack is no stranger to no major glitches, and this is all execution that you would normally have in no major glitches right now.
And with the half magic, we'll see how he plays out with the gauntlet room. Ack is still not that far behind. This is not a done deal just yet.
It is still a very close race right now.
Lack falls down. That's on purpose so he can dash right through. Heads to the gauntlet, 1:45:58. Ack making his way up to the third floor right now. It looks like Lack is sticking with the arrow strats for right this moment.
Just a floor apart right now.
Absolutely. And remember, these runners do, at least Lack has blue goo still in his pocket.
Oh yeah, that's right, because Ack used his blue earlier.
Acktheboker one room away from the gauntlet. Lack will choose to powder the fairy, and Ack does the same strat here, falls off the edge. 1:46:47, a difference of 48 seconds between these two runners on entering the gauntlet.
Lack does not get the one cycle Lambo, but does get two.
Nice saving of his magic here by remembering the fact with the gold sword, he can just sword it down twice to have it be finished right there. Nice arrow there from Ack to catch that one enemy there on the left-hand side. That was beautiful. That's going to quicken up his gauntlet.
Yeah, definitely.
Ack not needing to powder up the anti-fairy, so these things will not be coming out all at the same time. He might be able to get this one cycle. No, he won't. He won't. Now, does Lack check any of these 4 chests walking up? We don't know where the silvers are. For all we know, the silvers could be somewhere we haven't seen yet.
And there's not much we haven't seen at this point either. That's the funny thing.
And Lack is not checking them. That could be another turning point if we find out the silvers were in one of those chests.
That's true.
I mean, they could very well be behind the ice armors at this point as we find the map. 148.27. Lack gets to Moldworm 2. Nice patience right there. Didn't go immediately attack him. Also, nice patience there by Ack, making sure he does not despawn the tower by going up too quickly at a certain time. Ack is checking these checks.
Chests.
There's 20 rupees. Bomb, so no silvers.
Not getting the silvers.
It is going to be a silverless Ganon with the gold sword for both of these runners. Let's see how geometry works out for both of these runners. Two for Lack. Oh, zero!
Uh-oh.
There's a 2 right there. Ack finishes off with the Moldworm 2. And Lack is done with Aga 2. A 2-0-2-2 for LackAttack. And he gets grabbed by the duck at 149.44.
And Ack enters in for his Aga 2 fight.
And remember, LackAttack does know how to do the NMG fight, so we'll see how it goes. And Ack has that's a rough start there for Acktheboker. ALTTTPR has started to say. Oh, a nice double there for Lack.
So they're both gonna have, if he gets this, they'll both have like the same number of cycles at least.
No!
Doesn't get this.
Ack falling a few more seconds
to lose now.
Yeah, because Lack's now going to be in stage 3. 0-2-2-1-1 for Acktheboker. 150-40. A 56-second difference. Ganon doing all of his warps, but remember the warps are the same between both of the runners.
They will not be different unless someone falls.
Silver arrows turned out to be an ice palace.
Oh my god. Oh no, he gets... It's okay?
Yeah, it's gonna be fine here for Lack. Oh, ooh, that was close. He cannot take a fall at this point. "12 spins is what it takes. Lack pulling out the fire rod. I was worried he was going to get hit by a bat there. You can't get hit by the bats because they're going to push you towards that hole. Nice use there. Oh, he misses the cycle right there. A little too early on the hit. Lack maybe getting one more hit there. Does so. Uses the torch right now. Patience at this point. Ack finding out that the arrows were in Ice Palace as well. I have not been keeping track of the numbers here, Slim.
I haven't either. I've just been trying to focus on both here.
That's 12 right there. And LackAttack's going to force a game 3. Everybody get your GGs in the chat. LackAttack 152-27 to even this series. And Ack trying to finish off with this Ganon fight. We'll talk to LackAttack in just a moment. Your thoughts, Slim?
I don't even know where to start this race. My gosh.
And there is the finish for Acktheboker. We have a game 3. And don't forget, this is Ack's choice. He finishes with a time of 1:53.19. A race decided by all of 54 seconds.
Came down to Ganon's Tower routing, as we mentioned before.
Let's welcome in our winner here, LackAttack24. GG's.
Hey, thanks, Rick.
And so you had a chance to watch, as you maybe had the chance to watch during the few minutes here after you had finished. Did you see what this race came down to?
Yeah, I saw that my route in GT kind of flipped the script at the end.
Yep.
So I heard you talking about DM, Dark Magician, and that's his route. But I actually learned that from Fred. We've been talking a little bit. So
nice.
I give credit to Fred.
Nice. And we also have Acktheboker in here. GG's to you.
GG. Yeah, man, Fred always manages to find a way to troll me even when he's not playing against me. He's so good at that. Darn you, Fred.
He didn't do it.
I blame Fred. Lack did nothing wrong. This was all Fred's fault.
This was a back and forth race. In fact, pretty much the entire last 40 minutes of this race was drama filled and just an amazing run. At one point, Lack, you went to Swamp Palace. Ack, you were in Ice Palace. The tables there, I mean, we thought for a moment there that Lack may have just pulled away with the win there when he found the hook shot, but then you guys just mirrored each other, and before we know it, Ack has a small lead, and it was 29 seconds difference, Ack going into GT versus Lack.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Yeah, after Swamp, I went into TR without Ice Rod, and then we discovered the flippers, so I was gonna finish there, but then went back to Swamp and said, "Oh, I didn't even realize I didn't have the hook shot at the time. I thought I had already had it." So when I got into Swamp, I saw in the menu that I didn't have hook shot, and I said, "Well, I guess I better keep going and just do left side." And sure enough, it was there. But had I realized I didn't have hook shot before I started going into Swamp, I probably would have gone to Ice Palace before, but who knows?
And what went through your mind when you found the Ice Rod in Ice Palace there, Ack?
Honestly, it was surprising. The mushroom was the only thing in ice that wasn't locked by the hook shot, so I got it, and I was like, man, I gotta go do funky routes and bomb jumps. And I only had 2 bombs at the time too, and I was this. I know whatever is left in ice is not going to be the immediate answer. It's well, if it's going to be a hookshot locked ice rod, I mean, that would have been the only thing. And so I decided to bail and turned in my mushroom. And honestly, the whole time I was thinking, I was kind of wishing that you had mitts and fire rod early, because I love to go into Ice Palace without the pearl. And then that would have made the ice rod really free for me. I really did have that thought. I was like, why couldn't I just had all that stuff early? I would have got this out of the way right from the start.
So, Lack, you were concerned entering this race, or at least you noted entering this race, that Ack had the boots 44 minutes before you did in game 1. What do you think the difference between you two getting the boots and this seed was?
Well, we kind of talked about it, so I guess it was pretty similar, but I got mine at 36 minutes, so.
About 40 seconds.
Oh,
okay.
Nice.
He told
That's
me his
good.
time. I couldn't remember mine, but it sounded pretty close.
You both were pretty much making that walk over to Stumpy at about the same time.
Yeah. Yeah,
But-
when I saw that the mitts were at library, or the glove was at library, I was like, crap, another boots locked mitt, which we had yesterday too. So
Yeah, that's right. We did. They were on
yeah,
Lumberjack.
I was
I
on
remember
after
thinking that.
Aghanim. So it was pretty fun, and just being able to find them not an hour in I felt like I found them almost at the time I would have normally found them. I didn't skip anything. It's not like I could have chosen to go to Stumpy before I did. Like, I felt like yesterday I could have gotten Magic Bat earlier and just decided not to.
So, how does it feel, Lack, to take a game off a top seed, in fact, one of the better rando runners in this tournament in Acktheboker?
I think the seeding process is wrong. I'm just kidding. It's pretty cool to be able to win a match. So but my goal isn't to win just one. I'm trying to win as many as I can. So I'm coming for him in game 3.
So speaking of game 3, Ack, have you made your decision which lever you're pulling for game 3?
I mean, I asked him what changes he made for game 2, and he said he didn't make any changes, but he said he was thinking about map and compass shuffle. So I said, well, hell yeah, dude. If we go to game 3, we'll do that. So I'm a man of my word, and I'll still do it. No, I'm not gonna do that. No.
What?
Mapping, it takes the maps and compasses and just puts them in the overall item pool, and you don't know what your crystals and pendants are until you get the map for that specific dungeon.
Oh, okay, cool. I've never tried it before, but
fun. It sounds like we've got a map compass shuffle coming up in game 3 between LackAttack24 and Acktheboker. Slim?
Looking forward to it. GG to both of you. That was an incredible race to watch all the way through. As Rick said, we did not know who was going to win this, and even till the last minute, we didn't know because anything can happen in that Ganon fight. So it was a joy to watch. It was a joy to commentate, and thank you both for putting on a great show here.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for watching. We got more coming up just in a few minutes.
Yeah, we'll play again tonight. Who wants to host us? We're ready.
Yeah.
And also give Lack a little bit more credit. I'm looking at his username right now, and he's literally twice the Ack that I am. So I was at a disadvantage going into this, as far as I'm concerned.
All right, we would love to continue on with the conversation with these two, but we do have to wrap things up for this match because we have a Crystallis randomizer tournament match coming up right here on Speed Gaming 3, and that's going to feature the Axeman 301 versus Tornell 357. So GG's to both of our runners. Be sure to give them a follow. Two great runners of many things, Acktheboker, LackAttack24. So with that, special thanks to Iceman, our tracker, and also thanks to Slim Kirby. I've had a lot of fun.
I've had a lot of fun too, Rick. Thanks for commentating this with me as well. I always enjoy commentating with you. And for everyone else out there, thanks for watching. Keep in mind, we have lots of races coming up here for this tournament. This is just day 2. We've got 3 weeks of group stages, and then after that, we got brackets. So we have a long way to go. And if what we've seen so far is any indication, we got a very exciting tournament coming up. So keep track of those Speed Gaming channels, the ALTTPR channels as well, for all the tournament action coming up.
Yep, stay tuned. Crystallis Randomizer Tournament, a double header next year on Speed Gaming 3.